so far. They have not been lucky going into that final circle. Look at the
play right there, because they are gonna go ahead and just battle it out. CPT and Wildcard very close, and there we go. We go back to them as CPT is just waiting patiently, and Ollie Pocket
got that good spot though.
Yeah, Ollie Pocket says, you know what, let me just go ahead and get away from BRK. I don't think I want any of this. My team is not anywhere near me. Let's just go ahead and bounce.
Looks like BRK and Ollie Pocket squad here. Katarina Suki drive the buggy around. Yeah, incoming fire right there.
Not able
bouncing
to
shots off that buggy, but not able to land anything.
Not enough to go ahead and knock him out. And look at this. BRK Pussy lays down. He wants that extra support. He rains some more gun. Are they going to go ahead and push this? I don't think they have a vehicle here to go ahead and push the action. And look at this. Gainstars passing very close by as CPT Han and also Wildcard are still in this engagement. And one thing I want to go ahead and point out, Lucifer is waiting patiently. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and peek, but he has to watch out because CPT Han is currently on top of that building. He's pretty much just peeking. And look at
look at this. LHW has made their way across, and Zute gets caught there from Gangstars. A couple more fights going on in the vicinity right now. Han and his company are a little bit distracted at the moment, but at the same time, they have their attention focused squarely on Wildcard. You got Gank Angry occupying a compound right now, really trying to help his teammate get back in the fight.
Definitely right there. As we see one of the players from LHW getting a little bit closer and just hiding behind that hay bale. Fire with that UMP.
UMP all day long, just lasering people from range. Super impressive stuff from him.
Not the first time we see them now here. Oh, look at those steady shots there. Angry trying to get a quick little scope in. He is going to go ahead and start moving around. More than likely, he's going to want to try to open that door. Now, LHW Ace is out in the pretty much towards the end of the game, and they use them. They don't actually leave them. You don't see, more than likely, you don't see 4 players in one car from LHW. And that's a strategy that I really love seeing from them, because they're able to just crash those cars. If they're for some reason out in the open, they're able to crash those cars. If they blow up, doesn't matter. They're going to go ahead and be able to use them as cover as well.
One thing with the 4-car setup, there's a few things that does. It kind of takes them away from your opponents. It makes them less likely to be mobile. You've got more cars at your disposal, more cover that you can use. But one thing that it does hamper you do is it makes it so you can't fire back if you are under fire.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It is time to get into our third game of the day. Game number 7 here of the main tournament. We are past the halfway point. All of these teams are looking to catch up with those front runners as I hand it off to PB and 7 for all the action.
RRQ Athena looking
to win.
Grab
you
a
watching
fifth
at home
in a row. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm excited to find out. Here we go. We've got game number 7.
And
excited.
I am. And I wonder if RRQ Athena is going to be able to get that 5 games in a row. You watching at home right now, let us know, who do you think is going to go ahead and win this game? Because we are now past the halfway point of the tournament. And once again, that beautiful airplane is going to go ahead and drop a Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Which I actually got to use the stencil as well, and it was actually pretty awesome. I was trying to map out myself some kind of engagement how Evos did there earlier.
Super smooth. We got a kind of a northeastern plane path right now, going from just north of NOBAR up to Severny roughly, and we are going to see the south. drop spots and how people are rotating. Do you think there's any merit to the fact that, you know, these top teams that continue to perform game after game after game, they're dropping in the same spots. They're unchallenged every single game. And we are really seeing the same exact behavior from them unchallenged. Do you think it would be worthwhile for teams to actually try to disrupt them, let them, try to attack early rather than, see these guys get the same results game after game?
It's something that I would love to see, PB. I'm not going to go ahead and lie to you. I would love to see LHW or somebody like CPT getting challenged that early in the game, because if not, they're just going to go ahead and get so comfortable. They're going to go ahead and have the time to loot up, and they're just going to be able to have everything. And as we see here, the Japan team being able to go ahead and knock one down. He's not able to go ahead and get the finish. That man with the AKM is going to try to hop out. He does see another player. He is getting shot from the side. He rushes upstairs. That was fairly close there.
Can't be peeking on windows anymore, but Doggy's not scared. He's going to jump out and go peek some more.
And he's playing super aggressive. He hasn't even stopped to heal up. He was trying to find that other person that shot him. And look at this. He spots one going up the stairs. He knows that he can get him, but he's going to just go ahead and say, you know what? Let me just back up a little bit more. Maybe I should heal up, and then I should actually push the action. But as we can see here, GG with the Uzi. Is he going to be able to do something with it? That is a great gun to have up close and personal.
Really interesting tactics here in Severity. Both teams kind of rotating around each other at this point. Both kind of in trouble. It's anybody's game in these early. It's just RNG, random number generator. But it's anybody's guess as to who's going to get the good guns first, who's going to have armor. You can land one solid shot.
Down, he needs to go and push the action as KWC decides, you know what?
Finish.
If you're not going to push me. He's able to go ahead and clear that Divine Mansion. I don't know why, but it just keeps getting stuck in my head. Divine Mansion. And good thing out here about Wildcard is that Wildcard does have their 4 players, but they also have to be careful because now they're going to go ahead and start getting flanked a little bit more. And they are currently outside this zone, which is going to be huge for them. They need to go ahead and start getting in this zone a little bit earlier. We've seen some of these teams just start rotating a lot faster as Illuminate gets knocked down there by BTR. His team, they're brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9, is that a lot of these Asian teams do like to carry a lot of grenades, something you don't really necessarily see in the North America scene. More than likely, I'm pretty sure that's going to go ahead and change a little bit in the future, but as we can see right here, LHW just went, oh my gosh, they actually got 2 flare guns. Look at this.
These guys are not only extreme.
Let's just rethink this option.
I really like the lack of a scope on the AKM. It's a really. able to go up 2v4. They do get caught by a very solid squad, and they're punished for it.
And look at this. Evo's just pretty much juking around. They're getting shot at. Somebody almost goes down, but they're going to go ahead and just fire back at them as well. Evos, we have seen them do some amazing plays. Are they going to go ahead and heal up and come back to get KWCD? I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, because if anything, we know that they are super aggressive.
Love that UNP skin from JZ here. And also, was it... Can't remember who it was. Somebody from Evo was looking out the window. Crazy skin on that UMP.
I know. It makes me want to go ahead and just turn on my game right now and try to get one. They're pretty much teasing us here as we see Gangstar still waiting patiently for GTW to do something. Sute is starting to push.
The invisible line. Let's see here what happens.
He has crossed it. Sute getting a little bit too close here to GTW. He might want to go ahead and back up. He might want to go ahead and just get some backup from his teammates because GTW very, very close by.
Looks like Everfury and the rest of Gangstar is content to loot up the west side of the map, trying not to stray too far. Doyu on the eastern side and off to the north as well. They are split.
The whole team getting pretty much lucky there.
Head and go. It's the biggest frame in the world, and it looks so cool from the outside. And we're going really high. This is an amazing place to go if you just want to see all the sights, basically, of Dubai. I'm going to walk across. Oh, boy. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, my God. The main attraction here is this. The VR.
They could get stuck pretty easily here.
And CPT pretty much going to go ahead and wait there on the bridge. What they actually could do is they could go ahead and grab LHW, but pretty much what I'm thinking about is Outsider 9 came from Wildcard. I did see him alone there. He has to be careful because there are going to be people starting to push the action there from that bridge. And look at this, CPT one by one starting to cross that bridge. It is clear, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure they're telling themselves, but they got to watch out because LHW is coming up behind them.
Oh, this is going to be interesting. CPT has the bridge camp set up. They have position, and we also see way up.
Or they're going to go ahead and decide to just move. Quite disappointing places there by Cloud9. But more than likely, they're going to go ahead and just adjust for the next game. As we see Torty here just trying to blow up that car. He doesn't want that car to get blown up by somebody else. And also, Outsider getting a bunch of knocks there. Wildcard just going back and forth. RRQ destroying Gainstars. My goodness, the action is about to be insane. I wish we could see that Wildcard versus GT
going on right now as well.
GTW, it looks like these teams don't really like engaging against each other. We have seen a lot of Asian teams just waiting patiently. And as I say that, LHW just pretty much gives them a warning shot, letting them know, hey, we are going to be coming across that bridge. And look what CP is doing. CPT is actually getting the cars more ready for that bridge camp. I am loving this. Are these teams about to go ahead and fight it out this early in the game?
Look at how they're shielding their vehicles from this position right now. They're making sure the tires aren't visible. Really, really good tactical play here from CPT. Making sure their vehicles are still accessible, and that's the key. They've got 3 vehicles right now that they can hop in and move any single time they want.
Got that player behind them.
Oh, look at the knock. There. Beautiful grenade there from G9, and this is where they're going to push the advantage. Outsider getting knocked by RRQ. Here comes the offensive. Can they hold? Finished on Hot Jukes.
Definitely Seagut still up.
Another finish from G9. These guys are impressive. They push through the smoke, get 2 finishes there on Wildcard. It's down to Seagut at this point.
WC trying to move in here on Evil.
Looks like long in from the side here, trying to lob in some shots. Hopefully he connects. trying to get Evos taken off the board.
Trying to get a lot more action here with that Mini 14. He knows that his players need help. Is he going to push the action? He might go for it. He is in the car. He is going to try to push that action. Seagut getting RRQ. Seagut is still alive. Seagut destroying another player from RRQ.
Good try.
But he not able to go ahead and take them all on.
Wildcard will finish in 6th place. Really nice job. Wow, Seagut almost took down the RRQ squad there by himself, hiding in the grass. Very nice effort from them. They put up a lot of kills this round, so they're going to make a little bit of a jump. We've also got Japan still hanging out, surviving. We've got 11 alive, 5 teams left, and again, RRQ with the circle, with the position.
And one thing that I want to go ahead and point out is RRQ decided not to go ahead and engage there on Evos. They knocked people down inside that house, and then as soon as they heard shots there from behind, they said, you know what, we're not going to go ahead and engage Evos, even though we have them knocked down, and then they decided to go ahead and engage their wildcard. Interesting
Japan goes out. Now they're in 5th place. Teams alive, only 4. RRQ again in firm command. Can they wipe up a 5th chicken dinner in a row?
They might be able to. He comes down to the kills, ladies and gentlemen. As
big
Evos
knocks.
goes out. Here we go. We got GTW, KWCD, and RRQ. RRQ does have the numbers. Are we going to go ahead and see a 5th win in a row here, ladies and gentlemen? By RRQ, they are looking strong. They are pushing the action. They know exactly what they're doing. GTW takes somebody down from RRQ.
CPT and Wildcard here having a great little battle. This is going to amount to something here. Neither team's going to give up this position without a fight.
It would be great to see if Wildcard decides to push any of the action there as we switch around and we go to BRK. BRK very close to Full Send here as Full Send Ali.
Free winner chicken dinner engaging the other 2. This could be interesting the way it wraps up here.
There you go. The player for GTW goes down. RRQ knocks out another player. I think it's just going to go ahead and be the same story.
1v3 here. We got
1v3. Can KWCD go ahead and clutch this? Can he do it? More than likely, his players currently giving some information. RRQ is jumping in Ollie Pocket.
Got that good spot, though.
Yeah, Ollie Pocket says, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get away from BRK. I don't think I want any of this. My team is not anywhere near me. Let's just go ahead and bounce.
Looks like BRK and Ollie Pocket squad here. Katarina Suki driving the buggy around. Yeah, incoming fire right there.
Not
bouncing shots off that buggy, but not able to land anything.
Not enough to go ahead and knock him out. And look at this. BRK Pussy lays down. He wants that extra support. He rains some more gun. Are they going to go ahead and push this? I don't think they have a vehicle here to go ahead and push the action. And look at this. Gainstars passing very close by as CPT Han and also Wildcard are still in this engagement. And one thing I want to go ahead and point out, Lucifer is waiting patiently. They're waiting for somebody to go ahead and peek, but he has to watch out because CPT Han is currently on top of that building. He's pretty much just peeking. And look at
Zute. This LH has made their way across, and Zute gets caught there from Gangstars. A couple more fights going on in the vicinity right now. Han and his company are a little bit distracted at the moment, but at the same time, they have their attention focused squarely on Wildcard. You got Gank angry occupying a compound right now, really trying to help his teammate get back in the fight.
Definitely right there as we see one of the players from LHW getting a little bit closer and just hiding behind that hay bale. Fire with that UMP.
UMP all day long, just lasering people from range. Super impressive stuff from him.
Not the first time we see that now here. Oh, look at those steady shots there. Angry trying to get a quick little scope in. He is going to go ahead and start moving around. More than likely, he's going to want to try to open that door. Now, LHW Ace is out in the middle of the field. He needs to go ahead and back up. If not, Gainstars might be able to knock him. And if he does get knocked right there by that hay bale where he's throwing smokes at, they're pretty much not going to be able to pick him up.
He's going to be trying to get back to his squad. Gangstar's just moving out at this point.
And LH, look at the kills right there. 26 kills for LHW LCD.
Oh, another knock there. 762 taking down Outsider with the AWM back over at the CPT wildcard fight. We'll look over here. Lucifer in great position. CPT starting to cross. CPT is he going to catch anybody?
Starting to flank around. Here comes the knocks.
Here he comes. Here comes Lucifer getting the push.
Lucifer waiting. Lucifer knocks
Beautiful.
Wildcard being able to win and get some. Lucifer with another kill. He needs to go ahead and finish those players as they only have to go ahead and worry about one more. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Impressive stuff from Lucifer. Unbelievable. Catches 3 players coming across the street. That was unreal of him to stay quiet that entire time and just wait patiently.
That man told me I stayed up 7 until 4 in the morning. I studied. I want to get these skills, and he does just that. Lucifer showing he's got
great work with them while Halo was distracted. You see LHW getting in a couple of team fights here, Cloud9, and LHW having a little bit of a disappointing performance in that game compared to what they're used to. And again, Illuminate with an amazing team fight there out in the sticks with BRK. Really, really nice how that ended up.
Being able to destroy those players there for BRK, and then going back around as we're seeing it again, picking up his teammate in RRQ, just shooting those players there from the Japanese team.
The Japanese guy was taking a nap. He was just laying there.
They're getting, boy, that was my same reaction. I was getting hype here.
Look at that. We got RRQ again making the push here. He sees the final opponent, June, and well,
that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. Business as usual.
That's right.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. RRQ Athena wraps up their 5th in a row. Sheer dominance here from the Thai team.
I made a joke of it at the beginning of this segment in terms of saying, oh, brought to you by RRQ, but we might just have to rename the tournament at this point because I've never, across all iterations of PUBG that I have covered, be it mobile, be it PC, I have never seen 5 chicken dinners in a row at this level of play.
The sheer randomness of the game, the shifting circles, the random gear that you find, surely something's got to go wrong at some point for these guys, does it not?
I don't know. He's not looking like it because towards the end, they know what to do. We even mentioned it. They had 0 kills towards the end.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. They got the kills when it actually mattered towards the end.
Just having one weak game, but you see what they can do in the overall placement as CPT just suffered a early exit themselves. We'll see how that affects them. Probably see one of the Doyu squads jump over them into 3rd place.
And look at this. GameStar's just trying to wait here on this gas station. They know they might have wildcard nearby, but they have to watch out because they only have 2 players. They did lose Sute there at the beginning on the engagement against LHW, and LHW just, you know what, they actually didn't even decide to keep on engaging. They just backed up a little bit more.
Interesting circle developing right now. A lot of the teams heading south. Team BRK heading in from the prison. Got Illuminate going over to Milta-Power right now, but they're going to keep rotating around, trying to grab the backside of the zone. Most likely they're going to run into trouble if they continue that effort. Japan here rotating through. Looking at Berms over in the forest, just a little bit south of shelter.
Japan,
will they stop or are they going to keep going here?
And Japan bringing in that momentum from the last game. One of the highest placings that they were able to get. They jumped out. They got that M24. They see Evos. Are they going to go ahead and take those shots? They might just go ahead and back up a little bit more. As one of their players is actually getting shot at, and he needs to go ahead and jump out of this car. Either way, he's going to get blown up. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Evos being able to go ahead and knock down there one of the Japanese players.
Leshy is going to have a nice building between him and the enemy, but you know they're coming to finish him. Ernie's going to head on down and try to pick up that knock. His teammate's going to fly in the vehicles here shortly. This is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. You get an advantage, you press that advantage, and they are pros at this. And again, they're able to wipe one of Japan's members off the squad as they continue down to this house and take it over.
And then Grace plays there by him as they decide to go ahead and, you know what, let's go ahead and put the car inside the compound. We don't want to go ahead and get our tires popped and not be able to get out of here.
Bigatron just wiping another Japan member with the VSS. So really good shots from him. Zuxy's got his scope trained in over there as well. They're going to try to take advantage of a weakened Japanese squad here thanks to Evos. And we are going to see Nana2 peace out once again. He's going to grab that car and get out of there.
Nana2 says, you know what, we are not going to go from 2nd place to 18th place. Let me just go ahead and back up a little bit more and look at Illuminate and GG very close to each other. I don't even think the Illuminate players know that the GG player is right there. Look at him waiting patiently.
He's all by himself. It's a really good spot until he gets seen, and then he's got nowhere to go except for the water.
And here we go. We got Team Terror from India. They're going to go ahead and try to push the action. He doesn't know where he's getting shot from. He finds a little corner, but most of his squad is going down. He needs to go ahead and push the action as KWC decides, you know what, if you're not going to push me, I'm going to go ahead and push you. I'm going to go ahead and revive my teammate. The Terror squad playing aggressive, but at the same time playing too passive, and they need to go ahead and just play, just commit to it.
Yeah, if you're going to hit a compound, you got to
hit
it. You got to hit it hard. And we had one member stop at the bottom of the stairs, and ultimately it does not pay off for them. KWCD, where did that come from? Oh, through the window. Really nice shot there. I was wondering where in the world did he get shot from, but looking through that little small window on the stairway takes a little bit of damage there. Ooh, look at the flare just coming up.
Cloud9
got a flare coming up over the water.
Get that shot right there, PV. Great warning shot, I might say, telling them, hey, back up a little bit. We're coming, and that flare gun is going to be
Arab Madness over there, firing off a flare most likely.
A point of interest in Arab Madness, actually very close to GTW. Interesting plays there by him as they decide to go ahead and lay down here right by the zone, but they have to be careful because GTW is flanking around them, and they're more than likely going to go ahead and see them.
Here is the next zone again, favoring, guess who? RRQ.
RRQ, their rotations have just been on point, and as we told you, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to be laying down, especially when GTW is around. They're going to go ahead and finish you off, and yet, if they knock you down, they're not going to let you live. You are definitely going to die.
Six God from the back of a vehicle with a full auto 6-time scope spray and able to knock a couple of people. It's really nice work. They've got their eyes on a crate dropping right now. I would not be surprised to see them approach that here and at least try to take a look at another squad. Again, only 2 kills so far for GTW. You know they're looking to pick up more.
Using those scopes there, that 6th time to make sure he's able to go ahead and clear that Divine Mansion. I don't know why, but it just keeps getting stuck in my head. Divine Mansion. And good thing out here about Wildcard is that Wildcard does have their 4 players, but they also have to be careful because now they're going to go ahead and start getting flanked a little bit more. And they're currently outside this zone, which is going to be huge for them. They need to go ahead and start getting in this zone a little bit earlier. We've seen some of these teams just start rotating a lot faster as Illuminate gets knocked down there by BTR. His team is just more than likely going to go ahead and back up, say, you know what, let's not go ahead and go that route. Let's just rethink this option.
I really like the lack of a scope on the AKM. It's a really, really powerful gun, and the scope oftentimes gets in the way, and it takes up some of the accuracy. You can see these guys preferring later on in games, even with scopes available, they're still rocking iron sights on the AKM.
Yeah, that's something you actually don't see that often, but as you mentioned, sometimes scopes, even though they do give you the advantage to see farther, it might go ahead and throw off your aim a little bit if you're not able to control the recoil with the certain scope. For me, it's usually the 3-time. I cannot use that to save my life.
Most of the AKM use is designed for up-close play, so these guys are using those in-close quarters like you just saw, getting those quick finishes, fast rate of fire, but more so the 7.62 rounds really, really doing a number on people.
And this is definitely going to be an interesting final circle here as we see Wildcard starting to push into Hero. Hero has to watch out because Wildcard is going to push the action. Hero currently trying to shoot RRQ.
Hero's engaging RRQ off in the distance, so
and
a little bit distracted.
RRQ G9 not taking any shots there. He was pretty much waiting patiently. He could have actually gone ahead and shot Hero Foxer, but he waited too long. This Car 98 though, he's giving them warning shots. Nobody was even on the window, but he wants them to know, hey, watch out, we might be coming. And I think now they have realized that Wildcard is starting to push up on him. Wildcard starts to get the shots.
Look at that. Beautiful push, and that's a quick squad wipe. Wildcard comes in and wipes Hero off the map.
This is what I love seeing here. Starting that momentum. Hot Juke starting to get hot, baby. Wildcard getting some kills. And look at this. Illuminate and BRK truly going up against each other. Caveira is going to go ahead and try to push. He's going to tell him, well, thank you for throwing that smoke. Now I know exactly where you're at. He's right next to them. What is this?
C9 and LHW doing work against each other as well. They've got a nice exchange going on. We also have Illuminate and BRK going at it. Smoke's down. Vehicles are blowing up. People in the blue zone. Baraka's not going to make it out. He is going to bleed out, and that's the end of his game.
Caveira just waiting. He wants to go ahead and get those knocks, but he also has to watch out because he's not inside the safe zone, and he has the hollow on the AKM. Interesting choice there by him, as LHW is now starting to go ahead and get taken out there by Cloud9, and GTW against LHW as well, helping their Cloud9 out a little bit. And look at this, BRK just throwing up smokes left and right as one of the players from Eliminate is starting to push him. Is he going to be able to go ahead and get the knock here? He gets 2 knocks down. He's going to go ahead and try to push the action, getting those kills, finish him.
Oh, good try there. That was extremely clutch play, though. JCC goes down, and now it's up to Zod and Fusi to try to get back up in the fight. Look at this, Maroon 5 right there.
Starting to flank. He's not going to wait too long. He's going to start pre-firing. He knows that they're down. Look at this. Gets 1 knock. Gets another one.
Oh, and he gets
Illuminates Maroon 5 just destroying that team. Coming back and picking up his teammate as well.
That was huge. More action in the kill feed. Once again, Evo's taking out one of the RRQ members. Wildcard into action as well. Get another kill.
A lot of stuff going on. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 40 players left, 13 teams still alive, and the zone is getting smaller and smaller, and this is a zone I don't think we have seen at all this tournament with being in Milta.
Now, this is a really good zone, a lot of elevation changes, some forestry involved, lots of buildings. This is a really fun zone to watch here.
Outsider actually being able to go ahead and take down their GTW. Great plays there by him. This is something you want to go ahead and see, right? You want to start seeing those teams getting those huge knocks. GTW is definitely a team you want to go ahead and see get knocked down early, especially if teams like Wildcard want to go ahead and start pushing towards that at least top 3 and being the high money.
One thing that Wildcard's done really well so far is picking up kills. They're starting to frag out a little bit. 2 squad wipes to their name so far. Might have picked up a couple more as well. RRQ here currently with 0 kills this game. So RRQ not fragging out like they have in the past few games. This is really telling. A lot of teams are going to have an opportunity to catch up to people. It looks like Carnage goes down and gets finished. And Kodo goes down and gets finished.
Definitely. And Sam being able to at least back up a little bit and get some knocks there with the... But actually,
Sam down, C9 is gone.
C9 is definitely gone. But
failing to hit the top 10 again. We have not seen them high. I don't know if any games they've made the top 10.
Quite disappointing places there by Cloud9. But more than likely, they're going to go ahead and just adjust for the next game. As we see Torty here just trying to blow up that car. He doesn't want that car to get blown up by somebody else. And also, Outsider getting a bunch of knocks there. Wildcard just going back and forth. RRQ destroying Gangstars. My goodness, the action is about to be insane. I wish we could see that Wildcard versus GT
going on right now as well.
GT, it looks like
Angry's getting the knock on RRQ as well. Just kind of watching the kill feed here. Pyra goes down to the zone, and I believe Gangstars is out or close to it.
Gangstars is out as RRQ sees somebody getting inside the car. Evo's trying to get out of there, but RRQ too strong. RRQ, interesting stuff here by him as they decide, you know what, they knock down some players for Evos, but they want to go ahead and push the action somewhere else. And Wildcard has to watch out because Wildcard is currently super focused on GTW, but they have to watch out. RRQ is pushing them. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The tables have turned. We got Wildcard against RRQ.
Oh, look at this guy
with the M249, just letting it spray and pray. Sadly for him, all the players from RRQ are laying down, and they still have to worry about that player behind them. Great
look at the knock.
There.
Beautiful grenade there from G9, and this is where they're going to push the advantage. Outsider getting knocked by RRQ. Here comes the offensive. Can they hold? Finished on Hot Jukes.
Definitely Seagut still up.
Another finish from G9. These guys are impressive. They push through the smoke, get 2 finishes there on Wildcard. It's down to Seagut at this point.
KWC trying to move in here on Evo. It's a little bit too late though, as Evo is getting taken out there by... actually, Evos was able to go ahead and back up KWCD. Interesting plays there by him. And look at this. Little too late. KWCD getting even more knocks there.
Looks like we have a few different squad fights going on at the current moment. Curry Winter Chicken Dinner trying to control this fight against Evos. Almost everybody down on both sides here. And it looks like Long in from the side here trying to lob in some shots. Hopefully he connects. Trying to get Evos taken off the board.
Trying to get a lot more action here with that Mini 14. He knows that his players need help. Is he going to push the action? He might go for it. He is in the car. He is going to try to push that action. Seagut getting RRQ. Seagut is still alive. Seagut destroying another player from RRQ.
Good try.
But he not able to go ahead and take them all on.
Wildcard will finish in 6th place. Really nice job. Wow, Seagut almost took down the RRQ squad there by himself, hiding in the grass. Very nice effort from them. They put up a lot of kills this round, so they're going to make a little bit of a jump. We've also got Japan still hanging out, surviving. We've got 11 alive, 5 teams left, and again, RRQ with the circle, with the position.
And one thing that I want to go ahead and point out is RRQ decided not to go ahead and engage there on Evos. They knocked people down inside that house, and then as soon as they heard shots there from behind, they said, you know what, we're not going to go ahead and engage Evos, even though we have them knocked down, and then they decided to go ahead and engage their wildcard. Interesting.
Japan goes out. Now they're in 5th place. Teams alive, only 4. RRQ again in firm command. Can they wipe up a 5th chicken dinner in a row?
They might be able to. He comes down to the kills, ladies and gentlemen. As
big
Evos
knocks.
goes out. Here we go. We got GTW, KWCD, and RRQ. RRQ does have the numbers. Are we going to go ahead and see a 5th win in a row here, ladies and gentlemen? By RRQ, they are looking strong. They are pushing the action. They know exactly what they're doing. GTW takes somebody down from RRQ. GTW.
He finished him. Wow, these guys are going to work together potentially and possibly make it difficult on RRQ.
They are. GTW, that player is using this smoke to his advantage.
Joshi is hiding off on the side right now. He did knock and finish one of the RRQ players. Korean Winter Chicken Dinner engaging the other 2. This could be interesting the way it wraps up here.
There you go. The player for GTW goes down. RRQ knocks out another player. I think it's just going to go ahead and be the same story.
1v3 here. We got 1v3.
Can KWCD go ahead and clutch this? Can he do it? More than likely, his players currently giving some information. RRQ is jumping around. He does see him. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Dominance. Are you kidding me? Dominance. RRQ Athena showing everybody who's boss. And guys, they are going to put some distance between them and some of the others this game. Early exits from a couple of the top-ranked teams. Not so much GG Doyu, but oh my goodness, that was a very, very impactful game so far this tournament.
Dreams do come true in Dubai as they are looking to make my dream come true and win every single game today, as they have now won 5 in a row in this tournament. It is insane, Kylaris.
Did you hear that? That was the sound of me being speechless. What on earth is going on? RRQ with 5 chicken dinners in a row. Unbelievable stuff. Not quite the kill counts they would have wanted in the last game, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. we noticed late on in that game that they had 0 kills, but honestly, who gives a rip if you're going to end up in the final circle getting the chicken dinner?
It is just insane, and I love their attitude. We just saw actually a look at them after they won, and they look so just calm,
business as usual,
cool,
man,
and collective. We say we've been here before. This is our 5th time in a row. Let's make it 6, baby.
I really like the performance there from Korea winner Chicken Dinner. Korea's team finishing in 2nd place overall that game. Very nice performance from them. We also saw a really notable performance from Wildcard finishing in 6th spot, and not only that, they dropped 12 kills to boot there.
They did. They definitely did. And Wildcard definitely coming out on top. One thing that I want to go ahead and point out there, as we're seeing the replay and the highlights here of the timeout.
Hey, that planning did help. They finished in 2nd spot right there.
GameStars too. GameStars were able to go ahead and pretty much just wait a little bit longer, and then we got some players from Full Sand. They're a little bit not too happy with their placing, but oh well, it is what it is. And some of the action here, ladies and gentlemen, by GG, as they were pushing the action here on the Japanese team. Overall, the Japanese team was able to win that engagement, and Rolex was able to knock down somebody there. Lucifer, he tried to finish them, but another teammate from Wildcard was able to go ahead and destroy him, and this was actually a huge play here by Wildcard, as Lucifer was able to go ahead and take down 3 players from CPT, something that I was hoping one of the teams do, and they came out and did it.
Loved it, absolutely loved it. I liked how he chose to go with the Tommy gun for the extra ammo as they come across the street, mowing down 2 of them. We see Hero at the end here getting run over by Wildcard. Wildcard stormed the compound here, absolutely make quick work of them while Hero was distracted. You can see LH getting in a couple of team fights here, Cloud9, and LH having a little bit of a disappointing performance in that game compared to what they're used to. And again, Illuminate with an amazing team fight there out in the sticks with BRK. Really, really nice how that ended up.
Being able to destroy those players there for BRK, and then going back around as we're seeing it again, picking up his teammate in RRQ, just shooting those players there from the Japanese team.
The Japanese guy was taking a nap. He was just laying there.
They're getting, boy, that was my same reaction. I was getting hype here.
Look at that. We got RRQ again making the push here. He sees the final opponent, June, and well, that's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. Business as usual.
That's right.
Winner, chicken dinner. RRQ Athena wraps up their 5th in a row. Sheer dominance here for the Thai team.
I made a joke of it at the beginning of this segment in terms of saying, brought to you by RRQ, but we might just have to rename the tournament at this point, because I've never, across all iterations of PUBG that I have covered, be it mobile, be it PC, I have never seen 5 chicken dinners in a row at this level of play.
The sheer randomness of the game, the shifting circles, the random gear that you find, surely something's got to go wrong at some point for these guys, does it not?
I don't know. He's not looking like it, because towards the end, they know what to do. We even mentioned it. They had 0 kills towards the end.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. They got the kills when it actually mattered. Towards the end, they pretty much make sure they stay close. They didn't lose any players at the beginning, and they used that so much to their advantage.
Even though they had 0 kills right towards the end of the match, they still finished with 10. So, I mean, they got into the double digits in kills, and they got the ones that mattered, squad wiping people at the end.
It was a very patient play style coming out from RRQ in this game. Let's take a look at some of the standings overall from our previous game, as well as how that fares in the tournament as a whole, because a lot of kills been posted once again here, and RRQ is almost always leading in that. They may not be leading in the kills in this game. Let's take a look, see, as LHW in team ranking kills overall in the tournament.
Talking about getting kills, they're sneaking up on them. They're also going to go ahead and might take 1st place here on the most kills. They are just 1 kill away from LHW. LHW once again getting the kills, but not getting the wins. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have 1 more match coming. Who do you think at home is going to go ahead and take Actually, after day
Don't
2,
ask that.
yeah, my gosh, most kills after day 2. I think it might be RRQ by the way they're playing.
Yeah, it really, really looks to be so. GT Doyu again, lasting very long in the tournament once again. They were down a few members, but had really clutch play there from their sole member, hanging out on the edge of the zone, hiding. Actually even knocked one of the RRQ members and got the finish. But for the players, again, LH Doyu, GT Doyu, RRQ, all of them. 3 members apiece in the top 10. And then you see the CPT Han and the other Chinese team. I mean, this is just sheer dominance from the Asian teams.
Definitely dominance. And something to point out there on the team kills is I noticed now the NA teams are starting to sneak up. So they are starting to use FPP to their advantage, but not to the point where we expect them. RRQ is just going away with it.
And overall, CPT in this previous game, Han could have even racked up more kills if it weren't for the unfortunate situation that they found themselves in across the bridge there. But RRQ Senior going up against WC Seagun. And overall, seeing the number of kills that have come in from both of these players, it's a huge testament to see Senior and the team as a whole finding their place game after game after game.
It's super, super impressive. Seagut finally popping off a little bit this game, leading his squad to a really, really nice performance in this one. 6th place overall. They did run into an RRQ squad that caught them out of position, fighting another squad. Props to RRQ for taking advantage of that position. That's what landed them in 1st place, while WC landed in 6th.
Yeah, just pretty much going back on that. RRQ, as I mentioned, they did knock some players down from Evos. They decided not to go ahead and take that engagement, backed up, and then just squad wiped one by one the wild card team, which in turn is pretty much what gave them the win. They were able to reposition themselves. Huge IQ there by the RRQ team.
Indeed. You got RRQ Athena once again, top of the board, 650 points again, extending their lead. You see career winner Chicken Dinner, nice placement from them, getting 515. GT Doyu and Wildcard tying for 3rd. Nod to GT Doyu for the placement above them. Really solid stuff, but nice to see a North American team making a name for themselves.
The thing that's going to be scary is how far ahead in the standings is RRQ. They were already almost 1,000 points ahead of, I think, 3rd place. Never mind anybody else. But another,
they were 800 on top of 2nd.
Yes. So another 650 points to add to the tally. But KWCD getting 2nd place there with 550 points is a great standing for them.
It really is. Props to KWCD grabbing that 2nd spot, and also looking at Team Japan down in 7th place. That's a 2nd solid finish for them in a row, so look for them to move up the overall standings here that we'll show in just a moment.
And Wildcard there being led by Hanju, starting to get a little bit hot. 4th place there, 180 points on kills alone. Definitely getting there. More than 10 kills, 405 points overall. I'm loving that. I'm starting to see them start picking up, but they need to go ahead and continue to do that. We are past the halfway point of the tournament. If they don't keep on doing this, they're not going to be anywhere near the top 5.
Yeah, before some of these placements, I would say lukewarm Dukes. But now, we're back on with hot Dukes. That's fine by me. That is fine. So we've looked over this plenty here, and continuing on with the tournament. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what our standings are going to be at. But
one notable thing there on the end there, CPT in the bottom spot there for that game. But there, oh my goodness, 4,000 points has been reached now by RRQ Athena. They're up by a mile, essentially. They are in a really prime position to take home a lion's share of that prize pool, if not win the whole thing. But GT Doyu, LH Doyu, both of them almost tied. I mean, they're like a mirror image of each other so far. GT getting the edge there, and again, CPT from China, even though they finished in last place, they're still clutching onto that 4th place spot.
And it starts coming down pretty much to who's going to go ahead and take 2nd place, 3rd place, or 4th place, because RRQ is just running away with it, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm about to pull a host faux pas, which is, I was hoping production would just zoom in on the 4K, like all the way, because it is crazy how far RRQ Athena are. Sweep an entire day. It would be absolutely unheard of.
Wins, and that's pretty much what is keeping RRQ Athena way ahead. Getting those wins and also getting those kills when it matters.
All right, gentlemen. Well, guess what time it is? We've had it quite a few times already. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do it for a 5th time. We're going over to the interview with Valdez and RRQ.
So guys, we're here back on stage with, you guessed it, RRQ's G9. You're back. He is the leader of the team. We're going to ask him some more questions. I'm almost running out of questions here, but we have a couple more for him. So I'm curious.
Choosing to pull back from a few where they didn't feel they had the best position and choosing to really be aggressive on the ones where they did. And ultimately, they found themselves in another winner-winner chicken dinner final circle.
Absolutely, and you could end up in unfortunate circumstances. It might happen to RRQ. One great example of it was CPT's position, trying to eventually try and camp that bridge position just so when LH was going to come over, they could potentially exploit that. However, in the end, they got exploited by Wildcard.
They really did. LH saw that, saw right through it from the other side of the bridge, scoped it out, said, whoa, let's hold on here a second. And it wasn't until CPT and Wildcard engaged, LH snuck across, grabbed a position, and then ultimately they started doing some damage themselves.
Yeah, and just Lucifer pretty much waiting patiently. He didn't want to get caught crossing that street, waited till the last minute and was able to go ahead and take down 3 players, which was huge. It pretty much it gave them such a nice push and it gave them a bunch of confidence that they ended in 4th place.
I loved how quiet and still he remained that whole time. I mean, that built up for several minutes. And he was caught there. They moved in, took that compound, and he just didn't move. He stayed there. But he had great...
Here, your teammate Senior called you out as the best player on your team. So how does that feel to feel like the best player on your team? Do you feel pressured, or is it just a good
knock? Yeah. And then they tried to push Outsider and crew that was across the street, and Lucifer had other things in mind.
Well, you mentioned it as well, the right tools available. Knowing that they were always going to be close, so it's iron sights all day.
Sure, iron sights all day. They were right in front of him. Really, no scope necessary.
ก็รู้สึกดีใจครับที่เพื่อนในร่วมทีมชมเราว่าเราเล่นเก่งที่สุดในทีมแต่คืออยากให้เพื่อนร่วมทีมเล่นเก่งกว่าเราครับเพราะว่าจะทำให้เราเล่นง่ายขึ้นครับ
I hope that my teammate would become better than myself, so it would be easier for me as well.
Well, if any of your teammates get as good as you, then you guys are just going to win every single
with me. And then Wildcard overall, just hot jukes in the squad, being able to go ahead and just finish up that team, which was huge. First time, I believe, in the tournament that CPT has gone out in 20th, or maybe anything less below 15.
And we're seeing a lot of SMG play. Like, not only, say, Clutch Uzi's early game to eventually have those very early conflict balls.
Control that recoil, you're going to be just a sharpshooter.
Yeah. RRQ gives us the thumbs up there just before. An ominous picture, to say the least, considering what they've done today, what they did at the end of yesterday as well. And what, 1,300 points ahead of second place is it currently?
Yeah, it's a lot. 1,300 points ahead of second place and double the score of 6th place.
Yeah,
they could pretty much just sit out this next 2 games and they will still be in 1st place.
Yeah, well, let's check in with some of the other teams, of course, here at the World Championship as we take a little trip to see what they have to say.
Всем, кто верит и болеет за нас, всем привет, ребята. Держим кулачки, мы будем рвать.
Друзья, болейте за нас так, как вы болели за нас на европейском турнире, и мы постараемся снова сделать невозможное.
Be my dude.
갤럭시 가자! Team Galaxy there representing Korea at the very end, and Samsung in general, actually, which is always nice to see here, as our tournament is brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9. And of course, we're going down to the nitty-gritty of things, as it's going to be our final game of the day, other than RRQ, which we've talked about forever, very, very much so earned talking about them because they have been so dominant. But beyond that, LH and GT are really the teams that we're kind of focusing on and looking at as the teams that could potentially try and upset, but they've still got a lot of work if they want to try and catch up.
They've got a lot of work to do. They've got those 2 and 3 spots right now kind of in their firm grasp. CPT lurking right outside, though they had that poor performance last game, getting knocked out 20th. But it's going to be...
CPT is actually one of the teams that I'm going to be looking forward to. Pretty much got knocked out so early in the last match. I want to see what they can actually go ahead and do in this last game.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to get into our last game of the day. It's going to be game number 8. Keep an eye out for RRQ, because if they get 4 in a single day, it's absolutely unfathomable. But for now, let's head over to PB and 7 for all the action.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the final game of day number 2. I know you are hype at home, and wait until you see this plane pad, PB, and as always, that plane is going to go ahead and pass by and drop a nice Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Make sure you go ahead and check it out, because I've been playing with it, and boy,
I've been playing with it as well. It's super, super smooth for this game. We've got a nice little phone flow through the arena. Look at that. A little different perspective this time, checking around the back of it. Wowzers indeed. Here we go. RRQ being the focus of the plane, and we'll see where they drop this time.
The plane pad is pretty much actually going to go in a little bit north. Interesting stuff. I want to see what LH.U and CPT do, as it is a little bit farther away from where they're used to landing. But overall, teams like GT.U are going to go ahead and just be right on the spot. They're definitely going to go something that we actually don't see that often. RRQ taking the center area there with the Pubg. Surprised by that. They might start getting more comfortable. They might actually start playing like their style that they're used to, which I'm looking forward to seeing that. Are they going to go ahead and continue to get the win, though, is what it comes down to. And luckily for them, nobody, and absolutely nobody besides them, is landing Pubg.
Indeed, we've got Yasnaya once again occupied by Evos, and it looks like we've got the familiar CPT going down south, as well as LH looking to go south as well. It all depends on what kind of vehicles they can find.
As we do see Cloud9 very close by BTR, they're going to go ahead and just try to fight out this car. Whoever gets this one first is going to be huge, especially if for some reason Cloud9 decides to go ahead and turn around on that compound. It might not be a good idea because BTR was able to get there first, and they're more than likely going to have some guns, and all Cloud9 has to show off is just a car. Look at that. BTR just letting them know we're here. Even
9 really kind of having a poor showing on the looting aspect. So early in games, they're just kind of being forced off of popular loot spots, driving around right now.
Team nearby, they're still gonna go for it, and look at this. Both of the teams just going in. LHW doesn't care. Another team, don't even worry about it.
Nah,
we want those kills, baby. This is gonna be something to look out for.
They're happy to fight for it. They're going to loot up here just like usual, but this is what I was talking about with Cloud9. Happy to see them challenging for some decent loot rather than roaming around the fields trying to loot up little houses, solos. They're taking the team. They're going to loot up a popular spot. I'm really curious to see how this works out.
Something that they're a little bit more used to, and they have to watch out because, as you mentioned, LHW is going to be towards the south, and Carnage already with an M4. He doesn't have any helmets or any armor, so more than likely needs to go ahead and find those before he takes on LHW. LHW and C9 as C9 is just clearing those crates.
You're probably going to see them stay down on the ground level quite a bit. They want to keep their location hidden as long as possible from the enemy. As soon as you give out intel on your location, it's these guys like to swarm. They like to set up flanks, and they are quite good at it. You can see Ace on the top of the roof right now looking for just that. He's looking for intel, looking for these other guys. He's got his UMP. He really doesn't have a lot of stuff on him. Level 1 helmet, level 1 vest, but he's just there to point out where the enemies are for his teammates.
In another fight here between KWCD and Wildcard. We saw Wildcard coming hot. Knockdown. Wildcard deciding not to push yet, as it is early in the game. They might not have what they need, right? But KWCD using that to their advantage. They're gonna go ahead and just pick up that player, and look at this. The Japanese team has Ali Pocket from full send, pretty much cornered. They're gonna try to get there from every angle possible.
They sure are.
Pubg! Brothers, my brothers here.
Here we go. Where are my other people at? Well, I mean, it's so crazy because we all live in different parts of the world. So this is like the second opportunity, other than the North American Challenge, to to actually be together in person. You know, we spend so many hours in game together, so being able to hang out together is just, oh, it's awesome.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
有这几天我们都是晚上一起研究那个新手机，还有战术，还有研究了其他战队的那些比赛视频。
يلا كل واحد مكانه.
And thankfully to PUBG Mobile, the campus championship that was held in India gave us the opportunity to come here, and we are really excited for the PMSC Global Finals, and we really hope we can win it.
이게 1회로 끝나는 게 아니라 2회, 3회 계속 이어질 수 있으면 좋겠고, 저희뿐만 아니라 많은 전 세계의 사람들이 이런 기회를 얻어서 좋은 경험을 해봤으면 좋겠어요.
Saya suka PUBG Mobile.
The new Galaxy Note 9 has more power than you need. Like a remote control for a phone. Why would you... Oh, that's why. The new Galaxy Note 9. It's got more power than you need until you need it.
One final game for today here for the PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Global Finals 2018, and the big questions are: 1, can anyone catch up to RRQ? And 2, can RRQ sweep an entire day? It would be absolutely unheard of here if they are able to do so, but as Seven predicted or potentially hoped for at the very beginning of today, it's not out of the question.
It just might happen. They are so strong towards the end of the game that, I mean, we have seen it here today. Three games out of 3. And can they make it 4 out of 4? I'm looking forward. If they're able to go ahead and get the placement, now we know they can also do it if they don't get the kills right off the bat. So if they can just get the placement as they've been doing, they might actually go ahead and take it away.
They haven't been completely favored with the zone every game either. It's not like they've been getting super lucky. They've been choosing their fights very wisely, choosing to pull back from a few where they didn't feel that they had the best position, and choosing to really be aggressive on the ones where they did. And ultimately, they found themselves in another winner-winner chicken dinner final circle.
Absolutely, and you could end up in unfortunate circumstances. It might happen to RRQ. One great example of it was CPT's position, trying to eventually try and camp that bridge position just so when LH was going to come over, they could potentially exploit that. However, in the end, they got exploited by Wildcard.
They really did. LH saw saw right through it from the other side of the bridge, scoped it out, said, whoa, let's hold on here a second. And it wasn't until CPT and Wildcard engaged, LH snuck across, grabbed a position, and then ultimately they started doing some damage themselves.
Yeah, and just Lucifer pretty much waiting patiently. He didn't want to get caught crossing that street, wait it till the last minute, and was able to go ahead and take that down 3 players, which was huge. It pretty much it gave them such a nice push and it gave them a bunch of confidence that they ended in 4th place.
I loved how quiet and still he remained that whole time. I mean, that built up for several minutes. And he was caught there. They moved in, took that compound, and he just didn't move. He stayed there. But he had great position, knew that they were going to cross the street at some point if they ever smelt any sort of advantage. They got that knock, and then they tried to push Outsider and crew that was across the street, and Lucifer had other things in mind.
Well, you mentioned it as well, the right tools available to him as well. It's very rare that you get some use out of, say, a Tommy gun with an extended mag, but that was a great tool to use in that situation, knowing that they were always going to be close, so it's iron sights all day.
Sure. Iron sights all day. They were right in front of him. Really, no scope necessary for getting those kills. Iron sight was no problem. And then having 50 rounds to be able to throw at him. Coming out of smoke, it's not always, you're not always able to be super precise like you might like to be. But just being able to spray that much and even chunk a little bit of damage off the 3rd guy as well before he pulled out the M4 and got the finish.
Yeah, just love seeing that playing style, right? You don't really see nightmare here of a game, especially if you only have 2 players left. They need the kills. They definitely need the kills and the placement.
Looks like Chuxie looks like he wants to push. He's a little unsure if his teammates want to leave that position.
This zone's going to be interesting. Up north, pretty much smack down the middle, a little bit to the east, but definitely up north, Rosshawk, Severny, shooting range. You got Yashnaya there. That team, which was huge. First time, I believe, in the tournament that CPT has gone out in 20th, or maybe anything less below 15.
And we're seeing a lot of SMG play. Like, not only, say, Clutch Uzi's early game to eventually have those very early conflicts, but also the UMP, be it close range or at range, is being a very versatile weapon.
The UMP has been extremely powerful all day long. We've seen multiple players. It's not just like 1 or 2 people like using it as kind of a niche weapon. It's been like the choice for multiple people. And they're using it as their primary. Over range, over close, it doesn't matter. They're just killing it.
Yeah, they 4 time, 6 time, doesn't matter. Put it on the UMP. As long as you can go ahead and control that recoil, you're going to be just a sharpshooter.
Yeah. RRQ gives us the thumbs up there just before. An ominous picture, to say the least, considering what they've done today, what they did at the end of yesterday as well. And what, 1,300 points ahead of 2nd place, is it currently?
Yeah, it's a lot. 1,300 points ahead of 2nd place and double the score of 6th place.
Yeah,
they could pretty much just sit out this next 2 games and there's 2 there through the window. He has to watch out. You can't get too cocky. He should get in there. He'll still be in 1st place.
Yeah. Well, let's check in with some of the other teams, of course, here at the World Championship as we take a little trip to see what they have to say.
做好自己应该做的，然后都为自己队伍做点贡献吧。打好自己的，然后就多跟队友沟通，然后尽力吃鸡。CPT 加油！
Всем, кто верит и болеет за нас, всем привет, ребята, держим кулак.
All the way around to the ridge. I was just going to comment on another squad being up there, but it was actually Evo's. Ernie, the leader, rotated all the way around to get an angle on these guys while his team crashed the compound. Beautifully done. Expert play from Evos here.
Great awareness there by Evos, as Evos is pretty much going to go ahead and come up and just knock down all these players. Ernie goes down. Ernie gets finished there.
ก็ถ้าชนะได้อันดับ1นะครับก็ส่วนหนึ่งก็จะเอาไปให้แม่ครับผมแล้วก็เก็บไว้เป็นค่าทุนการศึกษาของเราด้วยกระโดดลืมตัวเพียงโทรศัพท์อะไรอย่างนี้ก็ได้อะไรอย่างนี้กระโดดแบบดีใจว่าได้แชมป์อะไรอย่างนี้ Illuminate Legacy Future
태국에 있는 RRQ라는 팀은 플레이를 되게 부드럽게 잘 풀어나간다라고 생각을 했습니다. 아무래도 코리아 팀 한국 팀들이 가장 경기가 많이 됐고요. 유력하게 선수는 제가 봤을 땐 리퍼라는 선수가 가장 위협이 될 것 같습니다. 지스타 경기에서는 되게 활약을 하셨던데 세계대회에서는 아마도 저한테 빨리 죽지 않을까 생각을 합니다. 파이팅 하세요. 네, 이길 자신 있습니다.
갤럭시 가자!
Team Galaxy there representing Korea at the very end, and Samsung in general, actually, which is always nice to see here, as our tournament is brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9. And of course, we're going down to the nitty-gritty of things, as it's going to be our final game of the day, other than RRQ, which we've talked about forever, very, very much so earned talking about them because they have been so dominant. But beyond that, LH and GT are really the teams that we're kind of focusing on and looking at as the teams that could potentially try and upset, but they've still got a lot of work if they want to try and catch up.
They've got a lot of work to do. They've got, obviously that's a difficult position to be in with 3 people surrounding you, and he was just trying to make the best of a bad situation there. But ultimately he goes CPT lurking right outside, though they had that poor performance last game, getting knocked out 20th. But it's going to be anybody's ball game for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. First,
yeah, and
seems
CPT is actually one of the teams that I'm going to be looking forward to this game specifically, because they pretty much got knocked out so early in the last match. I want to see what they can actually go ahead and do in this last game.
All right, well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's time to get into our last game of the day. It's going to be game number 8. Keep an eye out for RRQ, because if they get 4 in a single day, it's absolutely unfathomable. But for now, let's head over to PB and 7 for all the action.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the final game of day number 2. I know you are hyped at home, and wait until you see this plane pad, PB. And as always, that plane is going to go ahead and pass by and drop a nice Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Make sure you go ahead and check it out, because I've been playing with it, and boy,
I've been playing with it as well. It's super, super smooth for this game. We've got a nice little phone float through the arena. Look at that. A little different perspective this time, checking around the back of it. Wowzers, indeed. Here we go. RRQ being the focus of the plane, and we'll see where they drop this time.
The plane pad is pretty much actually going to go a little bit north. Interesting stuff. I want to see what LH.U and CPT do, as it is a little bit farther away from where they're used to landing. But overall, teams like GT.U are going to go ahead and just be right on the spot. Also, Wildcard that we saw do great in the last game. Can they go ahead and continue to go pretty much do that? Lucifer being able to go in and knock out 3 players by himself, and then the whole team just finishing off everybody.
Looks like RRQ is going to be going to Pachinki, and they're possibly going to have some company.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go. Something that we actually don't see that often. RRQ taking the center area there with Pachinki. Surprised by that. They might start be getting more comfortable. They might start playing like their style that they're used to, which I'm looking forward to seeing that. Are they going to go ahead and continue to get the win, though, is what it comes down to. And luckily for them, nobody, and absolutely nobody besides them, is landing Pachinki.
Indeed, we've got Yasnaya once again occupied by Evos, and it looks like we've got the familiar CPT going down south, as well as LH looking to go south as well. It all depends on what kind of vehicles they can find.
As we do see Cloud9 very close by BTR, they're going to go ahead and just try to fight out this car. Whoever gets this one first is going to be huge, especially if for some reason Cloud9 decides to go ahead and turn around on that compound. It might not be a good idea, because BTR was able to get there first, and they're more than likely going to have some guns, and all Cloud9 has to show off is just a car. Look at that. BTR just letting them know we're here, even if it is with a pistol. Back up a little bit.
That P93 showing some 9mm that way, and C9 happy to just get out of town, and they're going to go find a compound to loot up that. That's one thing that I'm noticing. C9
just at the top of that hill, draining those shots. Great plays there by him, getting those angles. Imagine if Gangstars was to
they're going to go to the
they're
north.
Actually going to go for it.
They're going to go to the north side of, the south side of
Interesting plays here by LH.U. Even though they see another team nearby, they're still going to go for it. And look at this. Both of the teams just going in. LH.U doesn't care. Another team, don't even worry about it. We want those kills, baby. This is going to be something to look out for.
They're happy to fight for it. They're going to loot up here just like usual, but this to get picked back up, and we'll see if that move comes back to haunt everybody, including Evos later on. Wouldn't it be interesting if they were able to come back and win yet another one with 3 players?
It will be interesting as they do have GTW passing by. They're pretty much just trying to see what suit you got on. Let me see if I can get an angle on you, and if I can, I am going to go ahead and push you. I think they're just trying to get different angles here, PB. They noticed that one of the cars is leaving, and you know what? They're saying, let's just go ahead and leave it. Let's go somewhere else. Let's find a compound that we can go ahead and take over.
Yeah, you see at the same time he's looking back and he notices RRQ kind of taking off from the compound, noticing that they're going to be on the move as well. Not worth setting up a perimeter there and trying to keep him contained. RRQ content to move, grab some trees. They're going to set up shop, trying to make the best of what they can as all the compounds are likely already taken.
They're known for getting the kills, and look at this, RRQ just getting everything to their advantage, getting Pachinki all to themselves. As we seen here, Full Send already pretty much getting knocked there. One of the players from Full Send. And we go back to LHW and C9 as C9 is just clearing those crates.
You're probably going to see them stay down on the ground level quite a bit. They want to keep their location hidden as long as possible from the enemy. As soon as you give out intel on your location, it's these guys like to swarm. They like to set up flanks, and they are quite good at it. You can see Ace on the top of the roof right now looking for just that. He's looking for intel, looking for these other guys. He's got his UMP. He really doesn't have a lot of stuff on him. Level 1 helmet, level 1 vest, but he's just there to point out where the enemies are for his teammates.
In another fight here between KWCD and Wildcard. We saw Wildcard coming hot in that last game. Can they go ahead and continue that trend as KWCD currently has one of their players knocked down? Wildcard deciding not to push yet as it is early in the game. They might not have what they need, right? But KWCD using that to their advantage. They're going to go ahead and just pick up that player, and look at this. The Japanese team has Ali Pocket from Full Send pretty much cornered. They're going to try to get there from every angle possible.
They sure are. They've kind of staked their claim in Severny so far, and with a lot of these neutral plane paths, that's been reachable for the most part. So Japan able to, claim their territory and protect it here. They've got 2 kills already to their name, taking out 2 members of Full Send, trying to close down on Ali Pocket right now, and they're doing a tremendous job of closing down that gap.
And something we have seen there done by Ali Pocket before, just waiting in the corner. Here we go. Nanatu comes in. Oh, Ali Pocket is able to take her out. Ali Pocket is going to go ahead and finish somebody there from the Japanese team and get 1 kill for them. That is good. I think that might be the 2nd kill of the tournament.
That was a really, really rough go, but Nanatu's got to check that corner when he comes into the room. That was something that you do in every house like that. That corner room is the only place you can really hide upstairs. So you got to check your corners when you come into the room. He pays for it, but unfortunately, in the process of vaulting out the window, he gets stuck in the window and is finished off. I was surprised to see him get finished there.
And luckily for Hershey, they have an AR, and as we noticed, another teammate there from Full Send, they only have a pistol, so more than likely, she is hoping that nobody comes in through that roof.
Talking about making that mistake. Look at him pre-firing corners at this point.
They learn. They definitely learn as he is using the shotgun at the moment. And look at this. GTW against Gangstar. Sute once again starting to overextend a little bit there from his teammates. He has to watch out because it's super close to GTW. And another thing to point out, LHW is also still in Nobo with Cloud9.
CPT free to loot up military base all by themselves. Once again, military base has a load of good loot, so probably why they're consistently placing well in these final circles. CPT really having a free run at one of the best spots on the map.
Nobody challenging them as we see Carnage just pretty much waiting patiently, trying to hear any footsteps. He does have the Scar L now and also the Tommy gun. We saw the Tommy gun being used earlier as now LHW is starting to hunt down Cloud9. Interesting place here by them because they won the early engagement, and that's something I love seeing. Early engagements, especially if you have the loot and you can definitely back it up. Look at them. They're just tracing them.
Carnage is in trouble.
To be fair, Cloud9 is starting to rotate, except for Carnage. Carnage is going to have to pretty much clutch a 1v4 here as LHW finds that flare gun that they're known for, and they're more than likely going to go ahead and try to find some more loot, or if not a vehicle, because they are currently outside the zone.
Yeah, they are not going anywhere, are they? Firing off a flare gun, and they are planning on rotating away from these guys. They're going to stake their claim. They're going to fight for it.
Yeah, they're there to stay. They've been going there the whole tournament, so more than likely they're not going to be going anywhere else. As we see GG and Galaxy very close by. GG Amesh09 sees somebody from the Galaxy team. Is he going to go ahead and take these shots? He has to watch out. He gets actually hit first. He has to watch out because another player from Galaxy is going to go ahead and come out from the top right-hand side.
This is a really random spot to be fighting. Look at the buggy scoot in. Wow, the tricks, it didn't really pay off for him. Galaxy hits from up on the ridge. Sala with a valiant effort there doing the 180 pit stop, but instantly knocked him and Charisma. Now they're in a serious pickle.
GG there, just pretty much having, hey, you know what? It's our time to push. Boy, did it backfire now 3 of their players are knocked down, and I'm looking forward to see if Galaxy is going to go ahead and finish them off because he has to watch out for Kuwait. Kuwait is very close by, and he is overlooking Galaxy Kong, which more than likely, I'm going to go ahead and say it, they might sacrifice him.
You know, Gur there looking, he knows exactly where the shots came from. He's going to see if he can get some finishes.
He's definitely getting shot more. He takes out those smoke grenades that they're known for, and he's going to go ahead and just smoke it up. He definitely wants to pick up his teammate. Great movement here, but surprising that Galaxy is not finishing the players from GG. You always want to go ahead and get those kills. As we're seeing this now, they're taking out their players. Meanwhile, Galaxy is saying, you know what, let's wait a little bit longer. I think we're going to go ahead and have them bleed out. But at the moment, you want those kills. You want those points. Galaxy now is starting to back up as Kuwait is pretty much holding them back.
I'm impressed here with these shots. M16 with a holographic sight on it from range. He's able to connect and get a finish as well as put pressure on Gur. What they're doing, though, is leaving those players up. There's only one guy left alive, and they know in order to have any chance at this game, he's got to revive him. So he's got to push down, and they know the path he's going to take, so they're just going to watch it.
And the Japanese team here engaging with BRK. BRK in a horrible spot here as all of the players are starting to go down. I believe that might be it for the BRK team. Pussy pushing forward. He gets knocked down there by the Japanese team. The Japanese team taking out BRK, PB.
Really strong showing from Team Japan to start off. 7 kills already.
Whew.
Wow, they came to play, did they not? And they also are down a member and still wrecking shop.
They get those kills, and look at this movement here by Cloud9. LHW still south, but they're going to be a little bit towards the east, and they're also going to be inside the zone. I think LHW is still looking forward to see where Cloud9 is at. And as we see Rolex starting to roll back around, baby, and trying to find that car, that vehicle, so they can get out of here. Are they going to go ahead and engage, or more than likely, they're actually going to go ahead and leave, especially since they are outside the vehicle. I mean, outside the zone.
I like it. He leaves, takes their car, and he's going to get out of Dodge. Really smart play here by C9. They're going to leave LH with fewer vehicles. I think they still may have one, but they're going to take that colorful UAZ. That is a pretty skin.
If you want to stand out, definitely go ahead and wear that. Look at that. Ooh, that fire.
Pumpkins.
That fire. That's definitely from the Halloween event that we recently had in PUBG Mobile. Once again, if you haven't downloaded the game and you're watching at home, feel free to download it. It is free to download. And make sure if you do have a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, let us know. How's it like? How many kills have you been getting every single game? As C9 Rolex decides, you know what, let's go ahead and, we don't want to go ahead and do one car. Let's do 2 cars instead. We see what happens if you stay just in one car, as Evos is just raining shots on somebody with a motorcycle. The Trace Evos just knocks him up. That motorcycle says, what do you think you're doing, boy? Back up a little bit. In Hot Jukes here in the pickle. He tries to go ahead and pick up one of his teammates. Interesting place as he's currently going up against GT Akan. GTW keeping their eyesight on Hot Jukes and Wildcard.
Interesting spot in the sniper tower right now. He's able to try to smoke out his teammate, and look at that. He connects through the smoke, finishes off outside. A really nice job keeping the pressure up from Ed there. Wildcard in trouble here. Hot Jukes trying to make his way out of trouble, and they are caught in rotation, it looks like, by GTW.
They are definitely caught. Hot Jukes actually was trying to hide behind that buggy, but it backfired because GTW is starting to flank around. And look at this. Hot Jukes is telling his teammates, you guys need to come and pick me up. If not, you guys are going to have a nightmare here of a game, especially if you only have 2 players left. They need the kills. They definitely need the kills and the placement.
Looks like Chushi looks like he wants to push. He's a little unsure if his teammates want to leave that position.
This zone's gonna be interesting. Up north, pretty much smack down the middle, a little bit to the east, but definitely up north. Rosshawk, Severny, shooting range. You got Yasnaya there. School barely in, and a lot of teams are starting to rotate. And Cloud9 is not even going to be able to wait there on the bridge. And look at this. Lucifer and Seagut are trying to go ahead and spot out. More than likely, they are going to go ahead and let Hot Jukes die there. It's not worth pretty much going back there and engaging GTW, especially if you already have 2 players down.
Definitely. I'm really kind of interested to see where LHW went. They were not on the map, so I'm curious if they grabbed a boat since some of their cars got stolen and headed up the shoreline.
It could be possible here as we got KWCD going up against BTR. Actually Torty. Torty with the big Russian bot. Are they going to be able to go in and take on this? Once again, the UMP coming into play. He has a red dot. This gun is great up close as we have been able to see it, as great as far away. Torty Broxy shooting there. He's going to be able to go ahead and connect some shots. He's able to go ahead and finish 2 there through the window. He has to watch out. You can't get too cocky. He should get in there, but instead he stays out for too long and gets knocked down himself by Evos, as Evos is just coming in to start cleaning up kills.
Watch Evos here as they approach this compound. They smell blood in the water. They know a squad's weak, and they just weakened the second one. They are going to try to take advantage like you wouldn't believe here. Bull Shark firing the Car 98 from range. Look at that.
Ooh.
Connected with Pro Dodger there.
Right on him with that Car 98. That was a beautiful shot, ladies and gentlemen. And Torty wants to go inside that house and finish up those kills for the big Russian bot squad. Look at them. They're trying to find an entrance. They also have to watch out for Evos, because Evos is definitely going to go ahead and turn around. And look at this. KWC going right behind them. He's not able to go ahead and connect those shots, but Torty definitely connecting those shots and being able to knock them down. Oh, the shots there by Evos.
Look at the
rotations.
angles. Look at the angles. Ernie drove all the way around to the ridge. I was just going to comment on another squad being up there, but it was actually Evos. Ernie, the leader, rotated all the way around to get an angle on these guys while his team crashed the compound. Beautifully done. Expert play from Evos here.
Great awareness there by Evos, as Evos is pretty much going to go ahead and come up and just knock down all these players. Ernie goes down. Ernie gets finished there by KWC June as more players are coming in. He is using that tummy gun. Can he go ahead and get the finish? He's still pre-firing. He turns around. One of the Evos players opens up that door and finish him off. He has to watch out though. Big Russian bot is still lurking around, but Evos with already 7 kills, pretty much getting the angles and cleaning up. If Torty even moves, they're gonna realize that he's there, and it's gonna be good night, Irene, baby.
You gotta feel a little bad for Ernie there, putting his team in such a great position, calling the awesome move to push there, take advantage. They do find themselves on the winning end of a couple exchanges. Unfortunately, he goes down, gets a quick finish on him, trying to get that kill moving out of the compound here.
They're just looting. They're waiting patiently. Torty is just looking at that, looking from that corner. At least he doesn't have to worry about his back. Although if they decided to, Evos could come around, jump in right next to him, and maybe make him push out. He does have this Car L, which is good, and he also has an extended mag right to his name. So if he needs to go ahead and take up more than one, he can just go ahead and do so.
Don't scope in whatever you do, bro.
Yeah, just hit fire.
Don't scope in. They're going to hear it. You can see him.
Hit fire. They jump down. He takes some shots. He takes some shots. He gets knocked out there. Misses the shots as Evo's Bull Shark jumped out. You had to connect those shots there, especially because you're the last one for your team.
Felt like it was a little premature on the trigger. He heard multiple sets of footsteps there, and he took a poor shot on the target that he did select. You know, obviously that's a difficult position to be in with 3 people surrounding you, and he was just trying to make the best of a bad situation there. But ultimately he goes down. Another squad polished off.
It is what it is, as we see Hero with the name 4 driving around, getting to this safe zone as fast as he can, and more than likely he's going to go ahead and start rotating towards the compound or something that he's more comfortable with. And LHW, interesting place here by LHW, as they are just now starting to move out of that South Island. Interesting place for sure there by them.
They went down south and looted up the small buildings, as they always do. Zone played no factor at all. They did not care.
They didn't, and they actually went a different bridge. I haven't actually seen them take that bridge before. More than likely, they
did it a couple games ago.
They might have thought that Cloud9 might wait for them, but that wasn't the case. And also, they remember CPT was waiting for them earlier. And look at this. We got Seagut against BTR. BTR very close by. Seagut currently getting Huge kill there by Zigat. He has to watch out because BTR is going to go ahead and start pushing forward. Great awareness there. He starts healing up as soon as he can, and BTR just backs up.
They're going to leave.
They don't want anything to do with
that.
They
don't understand that that's not a full squad there. They, they just know that one of their guys was out front, got picked off and finished. They're probably not aware that Wildcard only has 2 members left.
Don't want any of that in digest. Naya, wow. What a hardship. Pretty much every single team besides CPT, Illuminate, and Hero are outside. And look at this. Cloud9 barely.
Cloud9's going to tip their cap to PUBG gods right here and say thank you, because that's a very nice zone for them, especially with the way they rotated. They've got an easy path in.
They do, and look at this. They're just pretty much trying to figure out how do we want to go ahead and handle this. We do have the height advantage here. We just need to go ahead and push a little bit more towards the zone. We have the vehicles as well, so they definitely have the advantage here. They also need to start getting more kills, though. They currently have 0 kills because their placements hasn't been that good. They need to get more points if they want to be on that big money, PB.
Going to pick up their last comrade, Sam, here. We'll see if they go snag him or if he's got his own vehicle. But they will be moving around to try to grab position. Hero already positioned in the zone. It looks like got a nice little warehouse compound here.
As we also see there, GameStars, and look at this. Evo's getting some shots there on RRQ. RRQ with one of the players down early. Is he going to go ahead and try to finish them off? He is trying to. RRQ.
Look at how they snap to his aid.
Yep, they don't want him to go down.
Oh, look at the push.
Is going to go ahead and push. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready because here comes the push by Evo's. RRQ starting to back up a little bit more. They also have to watch out there for GameStars. Evo's just starting to snipe them from afar. Look at this. The M16 with the 4-time. That is just deadly.
And they landed the Car 98 shot there on Senior.
He
he gets him again. Connects with the M16, knocks him, and Bull Shark landing a shot on Senior. They are in serious trouble now.
They were able to go ahead and flank. Look at Evo's X there, just at the top of that hill, draining those shots. Great plays there by him, getting those angles. If only imagine if GameStars was to push this right now. They might be able to go ahead and clear up some kills there from RRQ, but then they would have to worry about Evo's lurking around.
Look at X all the way up on the hill, top left portion of your screen. Really love the angles that Evo's creates when they're taking on these squad fights. But remember, they did lose one of their players. Ernie went down a little bit earlier, thirsted over that last compound, so they can't be quite as aggressive as they normally are. And guess what? They're going to choose to rotate away. They want to get out of the red zone. They do not want to risk getting killed by that bomb zone and getting RNG'd out of the tournament.
Interesting plays there by him. If they have a compound nearby, so they could have just went into the compound. And look at this. They just passed GameStars as Spyra and Angry are waiting patiently. Interesting plays there by Evos as they decided not to go ahead and just kill RRQ, or at least push the action for a second there. I thought they were going to go ahead and do so, but hey, it is something that we've seen before, right?
I like what they're doing.
RRQ there not killed earlier Evos and just decides to back up and not finish them off.
They're driving around the field right now trying to find shots from somebody, trying to figure out what locations people are in, and this is a little bit interesting. GameStars huddling around a shack right now out in the middle of nowhere, hoping to get the zone. We'll see what happens. RRQ is going to be left to get picked back up, and we'll see if that move comes back to haunt everybody, including Evos later on. Wouldn't it be interesting if they were able to come back and win yet another one with 3 players?
It will be interesting as they do have GTW passing by. They're pretty much just trying to see what suit you got on. Let me see if I can get an angle on you, and if I can, I am going to go ahead and push you. I think they're just trying to get different angles here, PB. They noticed that one of the cars is leaving, and you know what? They're saying, let's just go ahead and leave it. Let's go somewhere else. Let's find a compound that we can go ahead and take over.
Yeah, you see at the same time he's looking back and he notices RRQ kind of taking off from the compound, noticing that they're going to be on the move as well. Not worth setting up a perimeter there and trying to keep him contained. RRQ content to move, grab some trees. They're going to set up shop, trying to make the best of what they can as all the compounds are likely already taken. Now we see Team Terror here making an approach on Illuminate from Thailand. This is going to be really interesting to see how this develops. Will Terror finally get on the aggressive and start trying to capture some kills?
If they were able to get those kills right there, it would be huge. As we saw earlier, Amit being able to go in and get a high place in there for Team Terror from India. And look at this. Torpedo is actually starting to put the action a little bit more. One thing that I'm seeing here is they're both pushing towards the same place. They need to start flanking around. They can't just be going towards the same angles. You want to get different angles on this squads. He does have the VSS, but they're being timid once again. They're backing up. They're already inside the car. And look, interesting places there by him. It seems like they weren't communicating. One of them gets inside the car, and the other two just pretty much stay up there trying to find more people.
Lucifer content just to watch from the sidelines right now. Wildcard a little bit exposed out there, and Terror seemingly not focused out behind them at all until now.
Terror now turning it around. They see Wildcard. They see Seagut. Seagut needs to go ahead and jump into the car as soon as possible. And as we see that there, Wildcard is trying to make it like bandits. You don't want the gunfight. And now that Terror has shot those, guess what? Illuminate is gonna turn around and say, "Hey there, we've been waiting for you."
Indeed, it's one of those things that you might want to fire some shots on that car you see out there in the middle of the field. They are incredibly exposed. Maybe you land one, maybe you knock them out, but you also give away your position and the element of surprise here. So Illuminate definitely knows they're coming. Wildcard content to try to stay on the edge and work their way in, again, holding out for a higher placement.
And Katarina pretty much just being a Bush Wookie there. You currently watching at home, spam some Bush Wookies in the chat as GTW just passes her. They have zero clue that she's there. And Terror Squad is gonna be in a pickle here. If for some reason GTW sees them and Illuminate still sees them as well, they're gonna go ahead and take those shots. And look at this. Oh, come on. You know you want to take that shot. You have the AWM. Just take one shot, knock one down, and that's all she wrote. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. The Terror Squad getting so much.
We're not listening
as we see that replay there, not missing a single shot, making sure he got both of those skills. And now GTW is going to go ahead and find out Illuminate. As we see here, Lucifer starting to shoot into Gangstar, some North America action. And Lucifer is going to go ahead and try to get these kills. He's going to start pushing a little bit towards the edge and trying to get an angle on him. And now we're switching to Illuminate and GTW, as we also see LHW getting some kills and CPT getting some kills on Carnage and Cloud9.
Really good action right now. We got shots being fired. Wildcard really looking like they're in trouble right now. Another shot there by CPT, taking out Rolex. Looks like GT is content to fire some shots out into the open, and so is RRQ here.
RRQ currently with just 2 players up. One of them got knocked down earlier, and one of them got actually eliminated. And look at this. They're just pretty much watching that area as Sutate and the Gangster Squad is very close by. And look at this push here by BTR. Seeing Evo, he's going to get that finish. He wants those kill points, but now he's starting to get shot from inside. He lays down, he blows up the car, and Evo's just trying to make sure they stay alive a little bit more as they only have 2 players left. And GT Akan with that AWM just knocking out Lucifer and telling them, you know what, go back to the lobby.
Man, really impressive stuff from BTR there. Coming up, securing the kill, getting the finish, and also managing not to get knocked themselves.
Just have to watch out because LHW was coming up, and I'm interested there. CPT took some shots on LHW. They heard shots up north, and they just turned around, and now they're going to go ahead and try to engage their Cloud9. And look at this. RRQ versus Evo's passing by. Luckily for them, it's only just 1 player inside the car, so you can't shoot and drive at the same time. They're going to go ahead and move around as we see Kodo there get a knock with the DP28. Can he get the finish? That's what it's all about. And we do have an airdrop super nearby. RRQ trying to work on their positioning, trying to get that back-to-back wins in day number 2.
Really good positioning here from RRQ using that cliff side, but they have company behind them, in front of them. This is pretty hectic right now. Japan's Doggy goes down to the play zone. And there is the nades coming in from Bull Shark. This is going to be trouble.
Evo's just raining nades, raining bullets. And look at this.
At RRQ right now, and CPT again really commanding position, but they do not have the circle. They find Hero first, and oh my goodness, is Hero going to get knocked, leaving RRQ in the top 2?
CPT looking dominant here as they do have 2 players left. Here comes the smoke grenades, and CPT, one of the teams that I mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and see what they did. They're going to get in that vehicle, and they're going to go ahead and start pushing as CPT is able to go ahead and clear their RRQ. RRQ is not going to be able to get there. the wins, every single win, they're not going to do it. It's going to look like CPT might be able to do it as they're pushing Hero.
CPT's got firm command of this when they drive down to the vehicles to get position, but they are going to be without weapons for a second. Doc gets knocked. It's down to a 4v1. CPT in firm control. Kinrys all by himself. He gets seen. 762 knows exactly where he's at. Has the AWM. Lands a shot on his feet. Little HP left, and it's time to push CPT from China.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. CPT getting that easy win towards the end as they were able to just go ahead and clear everybody on that area. CPT looking strong and recovering after they finished in the 20th spot in the previous game.
Now only 2 kills for RRQ Athena, but I can't say enough about their position, their patience, their perseverance. They made the top 3 when they really shouldn't have. They were out of position, out of the circle, a man down, and they still, with people right above them, their bitter rival, no less, EVOS from Thailand, they still managed to outlast their rivals and make it into the top 3.
CPT taking the final game of the day, though, in the end. Well played by them. Some unconventional circles compared to what we've seen so far throughout the tournament, up towards Stalber, and in the end, CPT had a great spot 7 to be able to play out the rest of that.
They definitely did. They pretty much had the height advantage the whole time. We saw them being able to eliminate their LHW, being able to eliminate RRQ, and then once they did that, once they knew that it was only like a 1v1 in regards to teams, they just pushed the action. They knew they were only going up against 2. They had their whole squad ready, and they did just that, and they secured the win, and pretty much did a great showing. That's something I love seeing. I love seeing comebacks. That team didn't do so well in the last game, as I mentioned earlier. They came and showed, hey, you know what? That was kind of like a fluke. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Let's get this win and go into day number 3 with some momentum.
Nothing like a worst to first story right there. CPT going from 20th all the way to first. Really good stuff from them. You saw EVOS looking like they were in a commanding position, firing down on RRQ's Athena. It looked like EVOS had everything going for them. The shots were falling, and then all of a sudden, CPT who had gotten there early, they had gotten there higher, and they were able to rain down on EVO's parade and end their game.
And CPT is our second multi-time chicken dinner winner. Wow, that rhymed. For this overall, and we do have them, with them taking the second round yesterday, obviously, now taking this round as well. Let's check in with the highlights, brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
As we see them just pretty much dancing away, getting ready, the team full send, just having a lot of fun, as we're seeing right there. They're definitely not getting the placing, so as Fandy mentioned there earlier, you know what? We're just going to have fun with this.
And indeed they are having fun. RRQ Athena means all business, though, as they pick up another very high placing. Not a lot of kills to their name this time, but they're not spreading that at all. Look at that. Ollie out the window, in the window. Unfortunately gets knocked. Ollie Pocket, though, securing one of the few kills that Full Send has got in this tournament.
And Ollie Pocket there with that great kill. And this actually pushed by Galaxy. It was great. It was smart. They were able to go in and take on GG and being able to go in and finish them off as well. But then they had to back up a little bit as Kawhi was coming in. And this push here by BRK. BRK, one of the teams that we expected a lot of. But sadly for them, it wasn't that well. And Evo's just shooting that player, knocking him out of a motorcycle. Yep, that was my reaction too. Just clap a little bit for that because the aim was insane.
Oh, look at this. This is how it went down earlier with Outsider GT. Man, that's just a tough way to go out. You hit a jump in a buggy, you get shot out of it, you really never stood a chance. Tough to see there for Wildcard. But RRQ here out in the field, and like we mentioned at that point in time, would it come back to bite them? Yep, should have finished them. RRQ able to last longer than EVOS. EVOS had a chance to finish him off way earlier out in that field.
Definitely did. And then we go back to EVOS and just trying to pretty much finish off RRQ. Luckily for RRQ, CPT was pretty much at the height advantage. And right here at the finish, ladies and gentlemen, as he's trying to heal up, he doesn't realize that his feet are sticking out. Look at him stretching and say, easy claps, baby.
Little neck crack. I got this.
That's right, absolutely. Impressive stuff overall in the end by CPT. And it's a big deal for them because obviously first place $200,000, but second place, etc., $100,000. And for CPT coming into today, they were third place. LH and GT had taken them over up until potentially now, so it could have some shake-up in the standings.
They had some great kills to their name that particular round, but more importantly, they got the chicken dinner, and that's their second one now. Again, like you said, the second multi-time chicken dinner winner, and that's very, very key because that allows them to potentially jump over the placement of GT and LH Doyu. those guys seem to have a ton of kills. But again, remember, CPT's been putting together a heck of
some of our teams here when it came to that plane, which was a bit more difficult compared to some of the other planes. We kind of wanted to see a more difficult plane because everything had been so easy for people to drop in the locations that they wanted. So LH and C9 going all the way down to Nova was cool.
That was the one thing I wanted to point out as well. It was really nice to see Cloud9 kind of make an emphasis of getting together, grouping up, going after some loot in a decent location instead of random houses all over the place. Split up, and then you run the risk of getting picked off like Rolex did the previous game. This game, they went down, looted up Novo, actually stole some cars from LHW. Didn't seem to affect them too much, but again, at the end, it didn't seem to help out their placement super high. I believe they went out in 12th place, maybe 11th once again, but again, C9 failing to crack the top 10.
And it's a good point that you actually mentioned there with them going out of that position, because they did have a good spot up on Salva, similar to what we saw from CPT. But let's check in with all the stats for our day number 2 as a whole. Team kill results from the whole tournament. Let's see. LHW at the moment up at the top with 79. RRQ Athena just trailing behind a little bit, 7 with just 3 less.
You know, just 76. That is so many kills there. And they're also being able to put up the wins for it. And hey, don't shy away from it, because GTW is 59 and CPT is 58. And then in the 5th spot, far away, Evo's Burnout with 35 kills.
Exactly. You see the big divide between 4th and 5th, and that's where so many of these points have been coming from for that overall leaderboard.
Really, 15 points per kill is absolutely massive, and with these 4 teams at the top putting up kills like they are, that's really what's setting the pace for them. As you can see, obviously with those teams having so many kills, I mean, look at this. LHW with 3 members in the top 10, GTW again with their several members in the top 10. Man, really solid stuff from them. And then RRQ Athena with 3 members in the top 5?
That's unheard of. Yeah. They have been pretty much just dominating the kills and dominating anything. Something I'm definitely going to want to go ahead and see and look forward to tomorrow is LHW trying to get those wins. They're getting the kills, but they are not getting the wins.
Definitely, as we take a look further onto these rankings here. CPT just crawling on up quite nicely, and we can even see 762 at the moment here with 8 kills going into that match. So big plays coming out from him. Bullshark on the other side, though, as one of our highlighted players, doing quite a bit of work. I think he had one of the arms, actually.
He did. Both of those players did. 762 did as well. It was a really impressive game from both of those players. As you can see, squad kills 14 and 12 respectively. 8 to 5 in the kill count, and the superior kills mean the superior placement. Chicken dinner to CPT.
It definitely is, and I'm so happy that they were able to go ahead and bring that back. And something that we didn't even see yesterday. At least we're seeing one of the NA teams there, actually 2 of the NA teams there in the top 10. Yesterday on TPP, they weren't even close. Now Gangstar's there in the 7th spot, Wildcard in the 10th spot. How are they gonna go ahead and bounce back on the final day? They're more than likely gonna be so far away here after round 8.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have been eliminated from contention as far as prize pool is concerned. At least all teams are going to be taking home a prize of some sort. We're talking the big money up there at the top 1, 2, and 3 spots. A lot of teams eliminated from the top 3 at this point. We'll take a look at the total standings here in just a moment. But as you guys can see, CPT, sizable gap between 1st and 2nd after round 8 here.
Very interested to see how the ultimate standings are looking, because no doubt RRQ is going to be leading the pack, and right now the fight for between 2nd and 4th is going to be very fierce indeed, I think, Seb.
It is going to go ahead and be intense. I wonder if they're going to go ahead and start pushing a little bit more of the action towards the beginning. We thought we were going to see LHWs and Cloud9 fight each other, and look at this. Pushed by CPT as they take care there of the 2nd spot. They had a bad game, but they say, you know what, just brush it up, guys. We still got another game here today, and they came out with the win, and they move on to the 2nd spot. Still 1,300 points away from RRQ Athena.
Very difficult to deal with there. RRQ Athena absolutely stealing the show, but CPT has been able to bump GT and LH down here in the 2nd day. Overall, PB, what do you make of it?
I really think that it's more of the same all day long today. The placements, again, we're seeing Thailand, we're seeing China. Top 1 through 6, it hasn't changed at all. We've seen some shakeups a little bit down south of the rankings, but again, our top team, RRQ Athena, still holding strong at the top with 3 first place today, 1 third place today. CPT getting their second chicken dinner, sneaking into that second spot just ahead of LH and GT Doyu, both of whom have had amazing tournaments, have not placed poorly at all. So really, really impressive stuff from all 3 or 4 of those teams, rather, in this tournament so far.
I think that was actually very impressive. Not only the 3 first places, that's pretty impressive, so I'll put that over there for a moment. But the third place, given the harsh circumstances that RRQ was in 7 in that last game, was impressive as well.
They pretty much blew up their own car, used that as cover, also threw a smoke grenade, and then just pretty much let it play it out. They were waiting patiently. They didn't have to push for anything. They knew they didn't have the numbers, and at that moment, as we seen it, and it works because we literally just saw it, they waited, and they pretty much got really good placement with just 2 players.
A little help from CPT above them. Evos was trying to rain on their parade, but Evos was the one that actually had their parade rained on by CPT. Coming down the mountainside there, shooting them up, and it ended up just being 1 player left from Evos, and he was unable to do anything else to RRQ. RRQ outlasted them. Evos probably wanted that one back with them out in the exposed field. Could have killed him earlier, and they let him live.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's head down to our final interview of the day as CPT takes the final chicken dinner.
Thank you, Calaris. We're back here on stage with CPT's 762, finally picking up the victory. We're going to ask him a couple of questions. You finally stopped the reign of RRQ and have taken a big win at the end of the day here. How does that feel to end the day on a good note like that?
没什么感受吧，慢慢来吧。
We don't really feel anything, just let it be.
Okay, short and sweet. I suppose that's a good attitude to have going into the 3rd and final day. And speaking of which, you've secured 2nd place right now. You're very close to making it up towards the top. What are you guys going to do to prepare to come in for tomorrow and try to take that victory?
Tomorrow we'll keep working hard and try to win as much as possible.
Okay, well that's good to hear. I hope they do as well as they possibly can, trying to catch up to RRQ currently in 2nd place. Let's give a round of applause for CPT and 762 for putting up a good showing there at the end of the day. So thank you guys for the interview. So that's going to do it for now, guys. I'm going to hand it back to Calaris. Thank you for joining me on the stage here all day. But thank you. We'll send it back right now.
Thank you very much, Valdez. Overall, geez, he couldn't shut him up, could he? 762, quite the chat box. But no, regardless. Overall, them taking the chicken dinner at the very end. The 2-time chicken dinner winners here for the days number 1 and 2 so far. Good stuff from them, securing themselves 2nd place. It's going to be difficult to get up to that 1st place. But if anybody could do it, it would be a team that has got multiple chicken dinners under their belts so far.
Indeed, it would. CPT in a great position to kind of climb the ladder. But again, as you saw, CPT getting 20th place themselves, and all it takes is 1 game, 1 challenge not to work out in your favor early on. RRQ can suffer that fate tomorrow once, twice, 3 times. It could happen.
If that happened.
It could happen. Not likely, but it could.
If for some reason they go out super early, we can definitely see CPT make a push there, especially if they start getting the kills as we just saw, and also getting the wins. That can definitely be one of those teams that pushes forward, as we have seen LHW and GTW can get the kills, but they just can't get the wins behind it.
Something we didn't quite highlight from our final game as well, which is a slightly anomaly compared to what we've seen so far, is Team Hero getting 2nd place. A great finish for them.
Definitely. They've been looking to get that finish. Europeans champions Hero really walked their way through the European finals. Not a whole lot of competition there, and it looked like the European finalists are back in the driver's seat here after 2nd place finish.
Sure, actually, you make a really good point there. If you look back at the, kind of the earlier stages of their campaign in the European regional from Team Hero, they were dominating, and then the 2nd day or whatever, as the tournament progressed on, they didn't need to do too much. So they definitely have the chops to really continue pulling off those kind of top finishes.
They definitely did, and I was able to talk to them yesterday, and they wanted to go ahead and get the action. So I'm looking forward to see what they can go ahead and do in day number 3 tomorrow, baby.
All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me at the analysis desk. And thank you for joining us at home as well. Make sure to tune in same time, same place tomorrow. At the moment, it's all RRQ. Who's going to be able to topple the kings atop the mountain? We shall see you tomorrow for more PUBG Mobile Star Challenge Global Finals action.
The new Galaxy Note 9 has more power than you need. Like a remote control for a phone. Why would you... Oh, that's why. The new Galaxy Note 9. It's got more power than you need until you need it.
in 4th place there, so they are extending their lead, making it more difficult to be caught. But again, you see Gangstars making an appearance on the top 5 there. Solid performance from them, and Wildcard hitting number 10.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and see if maybe Cloud9 starts waking up a little bit there. We saw them kind of going off there early, being on the, pretty much not being so aggressive. And when they did, when they were aggressive, it didn't work out for them. So I want to go ahead and see how they readjust here for the upcoming 3 games.
Again, if we look at the points overall, though, which we'll get to look at in a moment, these 4 teams at the very top, even coming into today, were 300 points ahead of 5th place, which is pretty crazy difference to say the least. So if they continue doing this today, they are a class of their own.
They really are, and big shout out to your 2 GG Gamers that came with another top 10 finish. We've got ourselves the total score, and RRQ Athena has shot up. They are now a chicken dinner ahead of everybody, almost 500 points ahead of 2nd place, which is LHW, and this is really, really, really something.
Again, that big divide between 4 and 5th right now. These 4 teams, just amazing.
Yeah, and it comes down to our team's going to go ahead and start challenging them. They pretty much know LHW is always going to go noble. They don't go ahead and challenge them. It's CPT is pretty much always going to go ahead and go military, at least from what we've seen, right? Are we going to go ahead and start seeing teams like Big Russian Bot, Old Gangstars, or Bigatron gonna go ahead and start pushing the action super early and try to knock them out early? That way they don't get the points, that way they don't get the kills, nor the points in placement.
We saw LHW get pressured earlier on Sandhawk early on in a game, and the results were not in their favor. So we'll see if maybe teams switch things up. They know where they drop. Bigatron here making an appearance in the top 10 overall. They're sitting at number 9 overall, so big props to them as well. GG Gamers is a team that I'm looking at to do well. They had a couple of inconsistencies on day 1, finishing very low in the rankings, but other than that, they've had pretty solid top 10 placements overall.
Aside from 117th place from EVOS and Illuminate, those 2 teams as well have been extremely consistent, right? They have constantly been sat in that top 10, in that top 5, fighting it out to gain themselves that kind of 5th, 6th spot that I think they're going to hold for a while.
EVO's Burnout's been a really, really solid team, and they're one of the most feared teams in Asia. If you ask any other Asian team who is the team that you most don't want to fight, it's EVO's. And EVO's, again, coming in today, a really solid performance. Yesterday, we just had that one outlier where they got knocked out early. A little bit of, unfortunate things happen in PUBG, and that's why we play 12 games in order to find our winner, because you just never know what is going to happen in this game. Overall, a really great tournament from them.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it is an outlier because they did win the first game yesterday, and that was a huge thing. So I want to go ahead and see how they come out on game number 2 of day number 2. Can they go ahead and get that another win? Maybe bring up the momentum. That's something I mentioned a lot. Teams will pretty much feed off that momentum. It's something they want to go ahead and just get that little edge, give them more confidence, and just start pushing the action a lot more, getting those skills, getting the placement. They need to go ahead and start doing that if they want to go ahead and challenge RRQ.
One thing I want to point out as well, we've had a lot of focus on the Chinese teams here. They've done extremely well.
For good reason.
For good reason. But check this out. 4 of the 5 chicken dinners so far going to Thailand.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's head down to the stage as our interview is ready as RRQ continues to dominate.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you, Calaris, for sending it on over. We are here with RRQ's G9. He might look pretty familiar. He's actually the twin of the captain, D2E, so fun to have him up on stage. We're going to be asking him a couple of questions here. First question being, so we had TPP on the first day. We're back here on day 2 for FPP. Which one do you prefer? And, do you feel comfortable in one or the other?
ชอบเล่นแบบ FPP มากกว่าครับเพราะว่าสามารถเข้าไปยิงหลังคนอื่นได้ง่ายกว่าครับ
I like FPP more because I can shoot more people from the back.
Okay, it's good to be sneaky. I like that strategy. So, second question being, you guys are now almost a full chicken dinner ahead of every other team. You're very far ahead right now, halfway through the second day. Do you guys have confidence that you can win the entire global finals?
Yes, I have confidence.
Okay, well, there you go. That's nice to hear. Good that you do have confidence. Give it up for G9 and the rest of RRQ.
looking down, trying to get some shots in some advantageous position here.
CPT does have to watch out because LHW was coming up, and I'm interested there. CPT took some shots on LHW. They heard shots up north, and they just turned around, and now they're going to go ahead and try to engage their Cloud9. And look at this, RRQ versus Evos passing by. Luckily for them, it's only just one player inside the car, so you can't shoot and drive at the same time. They're going to go ahead and move around. As we see Kodo there get a knock with the DP28. Can he get the finish? That's what it's all about. And we do have an airdrop super nearby. RRQ trying to work on their positioning, trying to get that back-to-back wins in day number 2.
Really good positioning here from RRQ using that cliff side, but they have company behind them, in front of them. This is pretty hectic right now. Japan's Doggy goes down to the play zone. And there is the nades coming in from Bull Shark. This is going to be trouble.
Evo's just raining nades, raining bullets. And look at this. They are able to go ahead and knock down some people. CPT knocking some people down there from Illuminate. There comes more grenades, more shots as CPT is trying to go ahead and take down Illuminate. And Evo's currently trying to fight RRQ. Evo's trying to get an angle on him. He sees one. He takes him out. Evo takes once more kills. He's not able to see him because he has this smoke, but he has to watch out. Senior is known to just maybe laying on the ground and being able to destroy you, and Wildcard actually get taken out there by the play zone.
Superior position here from Evo, but they really can't do a whole lot about it. Picking up his buddy here. Look at all the lines of sight all the way around here. Everybody can see up to that cliffside, but as long as nobody's paying attention, he might be able to sneak off a revive. RRQ at the bottom of the cliff here, trying to patch themselves up, trying to find better position. They need to try to start to work their way around, it looks like, to take on Evo, so they're just going to continue to get picked apart from directly above them.
Evo's, just as you mentioned that, Evo's X tries to lay down, and they're just raining it on them. Interesting plays there, as Evo's X was picking up Bull Shark. Evo's Bull Shark just dropped the smoke for him, so love seeing that teamwork there. They are definitely communicating with each other, letting them know, hey, tell me what you got so I can go ahead and help you out. Ladies and gentlemen, we do have 7 teams left. Get hyped, because this is the final game of day number 2, and it's about to get crazy as we see RRQ starting to blow up their cars. They need those to their advantage, and they definitely need something because they only have 2 players left.
Their position's crazy. I mean, they're in such a great spot right now in the circle. The cliff is definitely an advantage for the teams above them, but now Evo's down to 1 member. CPT pushing in from the backside, the highest team up on the hill. CPT looking like they're in the most commanding position of anyone.
And something that we haven't actually heard much of, LHW getting one of the players knocked there. And look at this, LHW just sneaking around, trying to not get spotted by CPT. If CPT starts taking his shots, they might be able to go ahead and eliminate their LHW, as LHW Ace is barely in this zone, and with smokes next to him.
Still clinging to life down there is RRQ. You've got LHW in it, you've got CPT in it. Again, a lot of the same familiar faces each and every game.
And here comes the shot. CPT just pretty much shooting blindly there as the LHW player is inside the circle, and now they're starting to move forward. They want to go and find everybody.
Look at this, Hero is still in it as well. 8 people left. Now, this is a little bit interesting. Hero finally cracking the top 3 here. Really nice performance from them, but they want more. Doc down at the bottom, Kenris down at the bottom. Looking at RRQ right now, and CPT again, really commanding position, but they do not have the circle. They find Hero first, and oh my goodness, Hero going to get knocked, leaving RRQ in the top 2.
CPT looking dominant here as they do have 2 players left. Here comes the smoke grenades, and CPT, one of the teams that I mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and see what they did. They're going to get in that vehicle, and they're going to go ahead and start pushing as CPT is able to go ahead and clear their RRQ. RRQ is not going to be able to get there. The wins, every single win, they're not going to do it. It's going to look like CPT might be able to do it as they're pushing Hero.
CPT's got firm command of this when they drive down to the vehicles to get position, but they are going to be without weapons for a second. Doc gets knocked. It's down to a 4v1. CPT in firm control. Kenris all by himself. He gets seen. 762 knows exactly where he's at, has the enemy in, lands a shot on his feet. Little HP left, and it's time to push. CPT from China.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. CPT getting that easy win towards the end, as they were able to just go ahead and clear everybody on that area. CPT looking strong and recovering after they finished in the 20th spot in the previous game.
Now only 2 kills for RRQ Athena, but I can't say enough about their position, their patience, their perseverance. They made the top 3 when they really shouldn't have. They were out of position, out of the circle, a man down, and they still, with them. Their bitter rival, no less, Evos from Thailand. They still managed to outlast their rivals and make it into the top 3.
CPT taking the final game of the day, though, in the end. Well played by them. Some unconventional circles compared to what we've seen so far throughout the tournament, up towards Stalba, and in the end, CPT had a great spot 7 to be able to play out the rest of that situation.
They definitely did. They pretty much had their height advantage the whole time. We saw them being able to eliminate their LHW, being able to eliminate our RQ, and then once they did that, once they knew that it was only like a 1v1 in regards to teams, they just pushed the action. They knew they were only going up against 2. They had their whole squad ready, and they did just that, and they secured the win, and pretty much did a great showing. That's something I love seeing. I love seeing comebacks. That team didn't do so well in the last game, as I mentioned earlier. They came and showed, hey, you know what? That was kind of like a fluke. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Let's get this win and go into day number 3 with some momentum.
Nothing like a worst to first story right there. CPT going from 20th all the way to first. Really good stuff from them. You saw Evos looking like they were in a commanding position, firing down on RRQ's Athena. It looked like Evos had everything going for them. The shots were falling, and then all of a sudden, CPT, who had gotten there early, they had gotten there higher, and they were able to rain down on Evo's parade and end their game.
And CPT is our second multi-time chicken dinner winner. Wow, that rhymed. For this overall, and we do have them, with them taking the second round yesterday, obviously, now taking this round as well. Let's check in with the highlights, brought to you by Samsung Galaxy Note 9.
As we see them just pretty much dancing away, getting ready, the team full send, just having a lot of fun, as we're seeing right there. They're definitely not getting the placing, so as a team, as Fandy mentioned there earlier, you know what? We're just gonna have fun with this.
And indeed they are having fun. RRQ Athena means all business, though, as they pick up another very high placing. Not a lot of kills to their name this time, but they're not spreading that at all. Look at that. Ollie out the window, in the window. Unfortunately, gets knocked. Ollie Pocket, though, securing one of the few kills that Full Send has got in this tournament.
And Ollie Pocket there with that great kill. And this actually pushed by Galaxy. It was great. It was smart. They were able to go in and take on GG and being able to go in and finish them up as well. But then they had to back up a little bit as Kawhi was coming in. And this push here by BRK. BRK, one of the teams that we expected a lot of. But sadly for them, it wasn't that well. And Evo's just shooting that player, knocking him out of a motorcycle. Yep, that was my reaction too. Just clap a little bit for that because the aim was insane.
Oh, look at this. This is how it went down earlier with Outsider GT. Man, that's just a tough way to go out. You hit a jump in a buggy, you get shot out of it, you really never stood a chance. Tough to see there from Wildcard. But RRQ here, out in the field, and like we mentioned at that